If this is what you saw a few days back, you will have to ask the market, did it change? What is it looking like right now? And what can you do? That is something you need to answer yourself. The news cycle is monstrous. There is a lot of bullish news. But now the price has not responded to that. Look at Ether. It's been like 7 days. We're doing nothing, literally. Yeah. And we got huge bullish news like the Trump Foundation buying Ether, the entire news in the US. But the asset didn't move up or down. Pick up XRP, almost same. It didn't do much. Why is that so? You're still in here with a negative divergence on a daily, with a negative divergence on a 3-day. But remember, there is no negative divergence confirmed on a weekly, which means the weekly is still suggesting you the fact that there can be a possible upside. But what is the trouble there? The 3-day is saying I have a negative divergence. The first red candle on a 3-day chart is going to confirm that on Heikin Ashi. On a Japanese candlestick chart, it is already confirmed. What does that mean? Welcome to the Scientific Investor family, where the normal retail guys get to learn how to become the next top 10% of this world. If you go back in time and look at some of these, I think this is very important. I mean, very important. You pick up the Bitcoin chart right now on a 3-day and look what the market just confirmed. Is it showing you an inverted hammer at the top, which is known as hanging man? That kind of gives you an idea something should be similar to the history, or at least say we don't know anything. Yeah? What will we do? We have to go back and see each time that candle closed like that. What followed? I think that is in front of you. And that shows you a lot of information. When that gives you such amount of information, now it's on you to decide. Now, before you decide, I want you to also look at the weekly chart. So this is Bitcoin on a weekly, getting close to the all-time highs range. You are flirting at that region. Will we break higher? We have to see. Do we have resistance? A lot of them. What are you watching on a daily? What are you watching on a 3-day? At least, what are you watching on a short-term chart? We have to check them too. Right now on a daily chart, it shows you the fact that there's a lot of liquidity or the supply coming in. Long wicks at the top, it kind of shows you that. Long wicks at the bottom was showing you a support. Long wicks at the bottom gave you a support. Now, it's the just opposite which is happening in front of you. Long wicks at the top. Fine. We go on a 3-day chart. Such long wicks on the upside also pushed the price to the downside. So sellers did come in pushing the price down, but buyers pushed it back up. End of the day, last 3-day candle shows you sellers were successful in holding on to their strength. It was a bearish candle. The volume is what you should be eyeing at. You have little buying volume here. you have little selling volume here compared to the previous buying volume. And that buying volume failed to push it to the upside respective to that amount of buying volume. But now you see little bit of selling volume was able to kind of push the price low and still hold on to this range. So sellers are still coming in, shorts are still piling in. We need to see if they get smoked, meaning you go up, 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 up forever. But then the question is, each market cycle, the daily, the 3-day, the weekly, negative divergence kind of gave you an idea about where you're going. So first, you had a negative divergence here. Second, you made another negative divergence here. Now, do we have something like that? You go on a monthly, and the Bitcoin monthly chart argues that you're trying to break to the upside, a cup and handle pattern. Good. But what's the downside risk? When you're on such an asset, looking at the long-term history, this is your downside risk. You're very close to a resistance, and yes, monthly can go up to 85. That is okay. But what if the weekly correction comes in to pull the monthly down? No one knows. That's why we say higher time frame structure does matter. And anything which plays out in between can be short to medium term. Now we are trying to visualize this. Yeah. If you go back on a daily or a 12-hour chart and look at old videos, we had this discussion before. We plotted such a line, put that in here, saying that was a trend line resistance, and you formed a negative divergence. Now you have another trend line resistance over which you're trying to build negative divergence. Price went up, RSI did not. So you are choppy. It is showing you a ton of resistance at the all-time highs region. Now, if you believe that investing is easy, yeah, saying investing is easy is easy. Buying low, selling high is hard. Why do you think the majority are not able to make that amount of capital out of this market? Remember, I showed you multiple portfolios which went above $1 million, right? There is another one for today. This shows you another long-term holder. Majority is in XRP. Now he already took some out as I was taking out, and this is before the recent profit taking. Now he took another big lot out. Now, why is it possible for few of them to do this? Because they play by the books, because they don't care about hype and speculation much, but they care more about textbook patterns. If last 10 times this happened, maybe, I'm not saying it's going to be different this time, I'll stay with the books. Maybe I'm wrong. The market will prove me wrong. Yeah? And they are at that stage now. Remember, you go back in time and watch this. There was a lot of people giving you double top scenario here while I was arguing double bottom. We went up. You go back in history, you'll see that. There was a lot of different people giving you the idea that we are going back down in this range. We told it's going back up. It's all on Twitter. You can see the screenshots. It's all on YouTube as well. Now look at this reversal. Go back in time, 6 March 2023. How many of them were calling for a V-shaped recovery there? Not a lot of people did. As I remember, it was only 2 individuals saying it's going to go back up and only 1 saying it's going to be a V-shaped recovery. Now you see what's reality. But what's the trouble? You won't attract a lot of views if you say the truth at that time, which does not look attractive. Because people get irritated, agitated if you say that. Because the majority are not playing by books, they will still have trouble. Now, you go back into something which we were talking about for last 2 years. Right now, it shows that we are there. Where? Yeah? Look at this. We talked about this for a long time, extended period of time. You put in all these tops together, what do you see? You are close to a cycle top. You are smarter than the history, then it's up to you. But I definitely believe I'm not. So if, or even if the structure looks like this and it gets extended like this, touching all these tops, the one in 2014, the one in 2017, the ones, two of them in 2021, and now in 2025. If that's you, what are you saying? You're almost close to that top. Yeah? This is the argument. This is my question to you. Do you think we are at the bottom or do you think we are close to the top? At the bottom, what would you decide? And at the top, what would you think? The decision should be made based on that. You buy low, you sell high. This is the way you make money. Now, forget about that structure. If you are not a trend structure based guy, can you see this 1, 2, 3, or am I visualizing it wrong? Yeah, that's micro. Why do I say that? Because I think the 1, the 2, the 3 is like this, and the entire market cycle started here. I believe this. You go back in Twitter and see all those ideas I've been posting for like 2 years. So back then, it was looking like a stupid while saying this is the 3-wave structure of the wave 3 playing out, and watch, it's not going to put in a big high than the previous one. Now you know why. Look at the volume. Look at the volume. Look at the volume. Where are all these new buys which are coming in? That's a monthly chart. Go on to a weekly. Look at the volume. Is it growing or decreasing? Now, this is where you need to understand who is buying. Now, we have some tools on our hand to understand who's buying. You go in and look at this. Do you think institutions are using Google to search about Bitcoin? I don't think so. I think they have internal networks, research units to do that. So who the hell is looking about Bitcoin now? Yeah, you get to see that. Now we're going to go into a 90 days period. See, there is a reduction. So those who came in by Jan 20th, 5 days back, are now trapped. No search is new coming into the market. You go back a year and you see, okay, it's bouncing compared to the history. Fine. So what happened in last 1 week? You go on to a daily chart and pick this up. There was a lot of people coming back into the market as soon as the price went back up to the all-time highs. Then what happened? The price started slowing down. This is what reduced them. Now look for last 1 year. What is bringing people back into the market? The market bounced off from 89,000 to 109,000. This brought in a lot of new people. So if you go back and post, you will get to see something. I was saying the exact same thing. I don't think the whales are going to bring the market down from here because the Bitcoin surge is not there, which means they don't have retail to push the positions out. If they want to sell, they need people to buy. And you didn't have much people there. Now watch, it went up. So who sold here? With all these news, who sold this? How did this volume come up there? Someone did sell, yes? And if you believe that, understand. Don't confuse. Don't misunderstand. This is clear. Stay with me on this. You now have volume reducing and people selling when you are at the all-time highs, while the Google trend is going up, which means new people, retail is entering. Great. Who's selling though? Yeah? Who's selling? This is something you have to ask yourself. You saw negative divergence in here, didn't you? Ask the market that question. What happened after that? The price dropped. Perfect. How much did you drop? 23%. At $105,000 or close to it, what would a 25% drop look like? You plot that and it would be $80,000. That still is a big drop. Now, when Bitcoin drops like that, what do you think the altcoins are going to do? This is why I say you need to cross analyze the markets and don't get confused. You have multiple times when 3-day negative divergence came in, the price dropped and then went back up like nuts. Why? Because there was no weekly negative divergence. Clear? Now, on a weekly front, you pick up weekly negative divergence. What do you see? At the top, it was marked like the beauty. Perfect? Now go on to a 3-day chart. If you are confused, watch this and understand. Don't get agitated. There is no use in that. There is a candle showing you I'm going downside here. The price was up at that time. Where was the RSI? The RSI was low. Price was up, RSI was low. It formed what? Negative divergence. But then, after the local drop, the price did go back up another 135%. Okay, cool. Now, watch this. Were you close to 0.1 at that time when you got that divergence on a 3-day? Or were you close to the top? You were close to the top. Fine. Great. Now, what are you looking for after that? A weekly negative divergence. Now, my question is, where did you get the confirmation that a weekly negative divergence is going to come in? Was this on this candle, the spinning top? If you're a clean structure guy on the candles, yeah, it is. But on the RSI side, you got it confirmed after the next candle closed here at $1. I reiterate, $1. That's where you got this bottom. That's where you saw it's going down. While the price went up, RSI went down. Great. Now go back on a daily. Let's argue, right? Let's argue. Let's debate. Go back on a daily. When you actually saw the negative divergence here on a 3-day, what was that? That was $1. Yeah? Then you had the opportunity to scale out as it moved up. You literally had opportunity to sell it when it was moving back up, and you know what the bottom is like. Now let's go back in current time at the present. Yeah, where did the 3-day divergence confirm? What was the low? The low was here at 2.83. So what if we're going to go up and then come back down like this? Now how high? I don't know. If you put that 135% in picture, it would look something like this. You push it up to say 135 and the price would show you around $6.5, which is perfect scenario. Yeah. Now, the worst case scenario, are you going to just look for the optimistic scenario saying it's going to go up to 6.5 and I'm going to sell everything there? Or if you're conservative like me, are you saying I'm going to take 25-30% out as of now because I'm 10-12x and I still have a big bag 60-65% out there to sell as it goes up? Will you think like that or will you think the opposite? So it depends on who you are and what kind of investor you are in the market. But the 3-day divergence last time did show you we were getting close to a local top. The trouble, however, lies with Bitcoin. If Bitcoin breaks the long-term trend line, the market cycle is in panic. You won't see wave 3 for a lot of different assets. Where will that confirmation come? When Bitcoin is at $75,000. If it breaks lower, yeah, boom. But what if altcoins are going to drop with Bitcoin? Look at the altcoin market. You go up into a weekly chart and look at what it's showing you. We are not watching huge moves to the upside. This is a Saturday. You only have 2 more days. You got increasing volume on the buying side. Price action is not responding. Who the hell is selling? Big guys, yeah? Not retail. I'm talking about hundreds of millions of sell volume. Who? You have to ask that question. There has been a candlestick which you should not neglect on a weekly chart. That's hanging, man. It was confirmed with the next candle, which is the mother candle here. Now we are still in that range. You're not going above that. What does that mean? Watch what happened last time, which is March 2024, kind of a year back, you saw almost exactly the same thing. Yeah? If you want to neglect that, it's up to you. But all that I'm saying is I saw this last time and this is what happened. Now, the decision lies with you. Inverted hammer and a confirmation. What was the total drop in the price action? The price dropped 40%. Now, if you want to write that to the downside, 40%, it's up to you. Because not all assets are going to drop 40%. Some of them are going to drop 25. Some of them are going to drop 50. Now, does that 40 make sense to you? It does make a lot of sense. Why? You're just coming back down to the trend line and you can go back up. It's okay. All that I'm asking is that if you are 5x, 7.5x, 10x and above, shouldn't you be taking profits before it drops 40, 50%? If your capital gain tax is 50% or higher, I agree. There's a lot of things which you have to calculate. Otherwise, what is the logical, practical reasoning? It lies in your hand. All that I can do is to show you what the chart says, what it shows you, at least keep my opinions out, and let you decide based on the reality. Go back in time and see if I did post negative divergence up here early December. For a lot of different assets I did. Trouble is, now people would be shouting, oh, there's bullish news. Yeah, there is bullish news. Let me ask you this. In a bear market, when the price was going down, when you had bullish news, the price did not respond. Fine. Now there is a huge bullish news. Is the price responding? No. Why can that be, or why should that be? Is it the whales manipulating us? Are we starting a bear market in Bitcoin? This is something you have to consider and answer for yourself. I'm just giving you food for thoughts. So guys, if you received value, smash that like button. I'll meet you guys on the next video. Bye for now.